Hey everyone, thanks for joining me today. I am on a mission to use a book page. So I'm starting a little series to do just that. These are all made from book page. Some of them you can see the book page a little better than in others. And this I kind of use the edge so that you can't see a lot of words. This one you can see the words better. This was actually some paper that, book page that I was testing out if I could use alcohol ink once I put matte medium on it to see if the alcohol ink would work. And it didn't really work that well, but it worked for the beads. So, I'm going to show you how to make those. Hopefully this series, each video will be 15 to 20 minutes. This one might be closer to 20 as I have explained all of that. All you will need to do these is some jewelry wire, and this came in a big junk bag of hardware that I purchased for like nothing, but I did manage to see these are 20 gauge. I'm sure you could use thinner or thicker. I have some book page that I had splatter painted and the ink dyed with different colors. And so I think I'm going to cut some pieces of those and we'll get started. Okay, so I cut some book pages and I cut them all different sizes because it doesn't matter what size you have. The main thing is the wider it is, the longer your bead is going to be. The longer it is, the thicker your bead's going to be. So we'll just start with one of these. And what I usually like to do is, because this piece will show, I tear off the end to make it kind of jagged looking. And then I go ahead and ink before I start rolling. You can certainly ink once you're done. I just think, because I'm not the best roller, that it's for sure all the pieces, you don't have to do the end. All the pieces get inked this way. So what I use, I don't use a straw because I didn't have any and I didn't want to go buy any, are my crochet hooks. These are metal ones, different sizes, depending on how big you want the hole in the center. I don't really care. I just use the bigger one because it's easier on my hands. But this time I'll use the smaller one. So I just start rolling at the end. And if you want to put a little line of glue right there, you sure can. I just don't think it's necessary. I just kind of tuck it all in and start rolling. And this doesn't have to be super tight because the wire and the beads will strengthen it up, and just roll like this. I got the inspiration for these from Pam, and see I'm going a little crooked. That's why I like to stamp ahead of time so that all those little ridges get inked. I got the inspiration for this from Pam at the Paper Outpost. She did some with book page, and there are tons of tutorials, I know, but when I saw it I thought, ooh, that's a good way to use up my book page and some leftover sari silk that I have. And then I usually go ahead and ink a little bit more because I really like that stained look on the ends. Kind of reminds me of a little scroll. And then what I do is take a piece of wire. It doesn't matter how long. I would say just to let you know approximately. Looks like about 9.5 inches is what I've been doing, regardless of the size of my bead, because you can always make it work. And I guess I should have said you'll need a pair of these round pliers for jewelry. So I grab it at the very end and just turn. Keep turning like this. And I only do 2. And then I scrunch them together. I also try to make sure this little piece isn't sticking out. So this is the orange kind of antique-y one that I dyed. I think I have just some beads here that I got from Broken Jewelry. So I'll just pick out some random pieces. And thread them on. Slide on the bead. Well, paper bead. And then just do the opposite of what you did on the other end. Like so. And then I take the round pliers again and kind of go up about this far and bend it over. And then I wrap it around itself a couple of times. Then I straighten that back up and then go down the barrel like this, just kind of at a diagonal. And if you have a lot of wire, you can go back up. I'm going to stop it here. I'm just going to wrap it a couple times on itself under that bead, in between the 2 beads. Kind of push it together with this one. And then I'll just snip it off. And then just take your nut pliers and make sure your little end pieces is pushed in. And there's your bead. Isn't that cool? And you can either put a jump ring, like on these. I added a jump ring, and then put a little tassel on. And this end I put a little lobster claw, so you could hang it on your journal. Or if you don't have any of those things, you can certainly just string it onto some ribbon or silk and hang it that way. And I think, let's pick a different color paper. We'll pick this one. It's longer. I'll show you how much thicker this one will be. I'm going to tear off the end. I'll stick with this little one. My hands feel pretty good today. I have some of this silver wire too. I think I'll just try it. I think I'm going to pick a little bit longer piece where I can show you how I add some beads. You can also, forgot to make my little loop. You can also use eyelash trim or yarn, anything like that, and you can tell I'm not a jewelry maker, can't you? I'm probably making the jewelry makers cringe right now. Like on some of these, I used eyelash trim. Anything. Get back in our broken beads here. And then after you make your little loop at the top, still loop it around a couple times. Then what I do is I just string on some little beads. Use some little seed beads and just random color beads. And let them slide down, all the way down. Then kind of hold my thumb there while I'm start wrapping it. I usually go around the big one. And then I let a bead go. or 2, whatever, however you like it. I think I'll let 2 of them go. Wrap a little bit more. Let another bead go. I can always add more if this isn't quite enough, and it's not, so I'm going to put a few more on here. Okay, so I have a few more beads. Just kind of going to drop some right in the middle of the ones that were there. Then when you're done, just wrap it underneath the beads that are there. And you can kind of straighten it out because it's just this thin wire. I didn't do a very good job, but I think it looks really pretty. I'm just going to real quick show you one with some sari silk on it. So for sari silk, you don't need or any kind of fabric, 3 inches max. Depending again how thick you want your bead. I do use the barely yards for this, and I do put a little bit of glue. Lay your fabric on and just roll. See, you wouldn't even really have to have this much because it's already covered and you already have your barrel, but that's just the amount that I got off of there, so. And that is one with some fabric on it. I do have some of this blue wire that came in that bundle too, so I'll do a piece of it real quick. And at this point, I mean, you wouldn't even have to run your wire back down your barrel if you didn't want to. I just like the looks of it. You could just fold it over and make your loop and then cut it. But I really like the way the wire looks. I think it adds to it. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it on down. There you have your bead. Very pretty. Also, just a side note, the Tim Holtz scissors are extremely sharp. This one with the little eyelashes on it, I thought they were too long, so I thought what would be really smart is to hold it and clip them. And I mean, yeah, I just took off the side of my finger with it. Very sharp. Okay, so I know I'm not the best teacher, but I hope you got some good ideas from this. And I mean, I'm sure you figured out ways to improve the things that I've done here. But this is a very quick and easy and beautiful way to use up the book pages. And just as also a note, the reason I'm using up book pages is because our library is having another sale in October. What those sales are, they sell the books extremely cheap. And what doesn't sell goes into the dumpster. So my thinking of it is, you know, why not create something that will live longer with me and my journals than letting them go to the landfill. So, I mean, that's just my thoughts. But, I mean, that's the library. You know, yes, I could buy the books and then what? Set them on my shelf forever? I mean, that's not, I don't know why. You know, people say, but they're beautiful. They are beautiful. Books are beautiful. The pages, to me, are beautiful. And I can make more beautiful things out of them as opposed to just setting them on a shelf where I don't see the pages. I mean, all I see is the side of it. And to me, that's not as beautiful as making something out of them. Anyway, that's my take on that. Everybody has a different opinion, and I respect that. So that's just mine. I wanted to remind you, please like and subscribe. This will be a short series, and I'm hoping, you know, not all things are things you've seen before. And if they are things you've seen before, maybe the ways that I will show will be a little bit different and inspire you to do something different, just like these beads. I've seen these over and over, but when I saw Pam at the Paper Outpost do them, I thought, ooh, I can do that. That's super easy. The next little series will be these mason jars. And I know we've seen 100 mason jars. These are actual pages that you can bind into your book with pockets and all the things. So please like and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that it gave you some inspiration, and I will see you next time. Thanks.